Hello, thank you for joining me. So this is our video number 6 in our series, How to Create a Door, in regard to our week 2 assignments. And we're in the middle of putting our panels in, and we're getting really close to the point where we can begin to mirror these panels around and put them on other faces. So what I like to do is kind of finish our chamfer that we didn't finish last time and show you two different options in regard to mirroring our features on one side of the door to the other side of the door. And then we'll go to actually a feature mirror as in opposition to that and show you how that works. So let's go with this. This is a different option for panel chamfer. If you right click on it and edit its feature, before we're clicking on individual edges, another way of doing it is just to click on the whole face and doing that. Now we could do the same thing for the fillet, but the thing about the fillet, if you clicked on one face, we'd have to click on this face here and it would put fillets on everything, including the edges of the door and our doorknob too, which may not be exactly what we want. But we can do it with the chamfer because it's kind of limited into this area. So that saves a few steps. If you go to OK, you have that done. So let's do this. This is a nice little productivity tool. I like keeping all these in order. We, in a previous film, or just previous to this, we went ahead and renamed these features here. We have our panel cuts, panel fillet, and panel chamfer. Let's go ahead and put these into a folder. This might help because we have actually three different classes of features here. We have a basic extrude for the door, we have a doorknob cut, and then we have all of our panel features, which consists of our panel cut and then our panel fillet and panel chamfer. Let's put these in a folder. If you right click on this, you tell it to add to a new folder, and we'll call this folder panel features. And in that folder we can continue to add some of these other items. So if you open up that folder and close that folder, you can see what's in there. And it kind of adds a different layer, a different level in regard to our hierarchy here, but it does kind of clean up our feature manager, and it's a good way of organizing this stuff. In regard to being able to have somebody else come in and do your work, they can find their way around a lot easier than something that's just like nondescript and not put into folders very easily. Okay, enough said with that. Let's go ahead and edit our panel cuts. Go to Sketch 6, My Sketch 6. Well, let's talk about mirroring some of this over. Now, we can take this geometry on the left-hand side, sketch geometry, and mirror it onto the other side. And so we can do a pick box window, simply by doing a large rectangle, selecting from the right to the left. But remember, we had put in a small center line in here. And if we do nothing else and go to the mirror command, it'll use that center line as our mirror reference. And we don't really want to do that. So with the control key to press, let's go ahead and click on that so we can deselect it. And again, with the control key to press, let's go ahead and select the mirror line that we really want to use. Go to Mirror Entities, bang, puts it over on the other side. There's a whole bunch of sketch relations. Almost all of them are symmetric relations. You have them on the left, you have them in the middle, and you also have them on the right. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Now if we went ahead and rebuild this, you'll see that what got mirrored here were all the sketch elements, but we don't have the features mirrored because it was a sketch mirror rather than a feature mirror. So here's an alternative to that. Control Z. Let's just back up a little bit. Let's go to Rebuild. And let's mirror those features. Click on these three items. Go to Mirror. It automatically propagates it into the features to mirror. Mirror face and plane. We're going to pick the right plane because remember, because we built this with symmetry, our right plane goes right down the middle, so we don't have to do additional reference geometry here. Green check mark. Bang. One side of the door is done. We're going to immediately go on the other side of the door and put those features in front of the door to the back of the door. So let's do this. Back to mirror. Face plane to mirror. This time it's going to be the front plane because we did a mid-plane extrusion. Our front plane's right down the middle. Again, features to mirror. We're going to click on these guys. All three of these. That puts on one side. Mirror 6 puts it on the other side. And we should be pretty good to go. Green check mark. And it says rebuild errors. Unable to create instances for the pattern. It gives us a suggestion of mirroring less, but we know what to mirror less. But one thing to keep in mind is the geometry pattern. SolidWorks says a geometry pattern creates a pattern used only for geometry of the faces and edges of a feature rather than propagating the whole feature itself. So I think it resolves itself a little bit better. The book goes over this a little bit towards the end of the chapter in project number 1, but let's go ahead and check geometry pattern with all the other defaults and go to check mark and I think it gets it all ready for us. So there's our door, there's our panels in the door. In the next video I'd like to show you how to put in a window or something that would simulate a window. So I know some people in class are already doing that, so that's a pretty good head start, and we'll see you pretty soon.